Forget everything that you've been taught about manifestation, because most of it is keeping you stuck. You do not need to script harder, visualize more, or do the 10k affirmations challenge in order for you to manifest what it is that you want. All those tools are not a requirement for your manifestation to come into fruition, or your reality to rearrange around who you currently are. Hey lovelies, welcome back to another episode, another video if you're watching on YouTube. We're your manifestation sisters. I'm Tia.
And I'm Leah.
We help you embody the identity that makes life upgrades inevitable by becoming the wealthy woman at the centre of it all.
We'll jump in all the ways in which to work with us in the description box down below. Yeah, because I think how it's being taught is, everything's a checklist and I need to do X to get Y. And it's just not how it is. And I think on my manifestation journey, I was very much thinking like it was the tools and techniques that was manifesting me, like was the catalyst to me getting what I want, but really it wasn't. And I didn't know that until obviously you kind of integrate your manifestation and you start to realise like it's who you're being. And I know we say it over and over and we hear it all the time, but that was my click moment for me, because I was doing all the tools and techniques under the sun, but I was still going about my reality, for example, with money, living in lack, thinking there wasn't enough, always like worrying about overspending, like not being in that overflow. But I'd done my visualization today, or I'd said my affirmations, but how I was going about my reality was very much of a fearful, lackful state. Yeah. So I was being the version of me who didn't have the money, who didn't have enough.
If you just stop treating manifestation as a method and as a way of being, everything would shift for you. Ultimately, it comes down to you understanding one thing. Manifestation isn't something you do, it's who you are. And when you just said that, the analogy of the scale come into my head of like, you've tipped the scale, you've got into the state first in your day.
Yeah, because obviously doing the tools and techniques helps you get into the state, right? If you're a version of you who hasn't been used to thinking overflow with money, practicing that state of being is a good thing to do, to teach yourself like this is a normal thing for me now.
But as soon as you open your door, that old way of being comes right back. You're reacting to it, picking your head up. Exactly. It's like you're reacting to the same things as the old version of you. You're thinking as the old version of you. You're worrying as the old version of you, instead of letting that tool or technique get you into the state and you carrying that mood around you throughout the day. You choosing to hold that baseline. Your reality, the thing that you want, isn't going to come and hit you over the fucking head. Like we think we do the tool and then do you know what? Poof, poof, it's in. But it's actually a decision and a choice that we always say that you bring yourself back to. We will speak about this in the Wealth Woman Mastery. How are you choosing to reinforce this new identity? And that's what subtly raises your baseline, teaches your body and conditions your mind into this new way of being. So it's normal, it's naturalized, it's sustained. So you don't always have to consciously feel like you need to do a tool or technique to get yourself back into the state. It's just a way of being that you've decided for yourself. So then you're ruminating and perceiving and consciously choosing to act, feel, perceive from that version of you.
Well, we were having a conversation the other day and you were saying I'm so sick of like everything being like a step to manifest.
Oh, yeah.
We're even making nervous system regulation a step now in order to manifest. Another hoop that we have to overcome. And yes, we've spoke about regulating your state, regulating yourself, and it has played a part in my journey. There was very much a time in my journey where I was manifesting from a very frantic state. I was in Triggerville, constantly triggered, constantly anxious, constantly reacting, constantly in a very fearful state. And I learned like through doing like breath work and meditation or somatic shape or whatever you like to do, that really helped me to calm my state, but that wasn't getting me my manifestation. It was helping me to more so sustain it. So instead of frantically manifesting, it's now more from a state of ease and calmness, more so than being frantic. And it's not to say I don't get triggered. I'm human, of course I get triggered. But it's not from a place of like, oh my god, I must regulate my nervous system now, otherwise I'm not going to get what I want. And it's not like that. It's like nervous system regulation is just a tool. It's another one of those things where it's like you can choose to do it or not do it. It's not really going to help you get your manifestation any likely if you are regulating or not regulating, because your manifestation is always guaranteed for you, but sometimes we can get the manifestation in, we can't sustain it and we lose it again because we're in that fearful energy of losing it. Yeah. So so it doesn't stay. So like when I regulate my nervous system, it's more from a state of like just turning back within and calming myself. And sometimes it's more of just a conversation with myself to choose something different for myself. It can look so different.
Yeah, I think it brings back to the point of like it's a choice, not a requirement.
Yes.
Right now it's being pushed as this, if you don't regulate your fucking nervous system, you're not going to get your manifestation. There are dysregulated millionaires, there are dysregulated billionaires, there are dysregulated people in love, like that manifested a relationship. There are dysregulated ways in which you can lose weight. There's polarity, there's each end of the spectrum.
It's not one size fits all.
It's not a one size fits all, but this isn't us saying nervous system regulation isn't good. It's us saying that it's a choice. Do you want to regulate from a grounded, sustained, and neutral place rather than a chaotic, survival, frantic place? Yeah. That's the question.
Because there's always, you can manifest from either of those states.
Exactly. And for me, I want my nervous system to not even flinch, not even question, not even doubt when the thing that I want is reflected in my 3D. And that's the difference for me. When I've taught my body, I've anchored into that state and I've regulated my nervous system because I choose to, not because it's a requirement in order for me to be worthy to have and receive what I want, then it comes in and I'm like, hell yeah, of course it would. It's inevitable. Not this thing has come in, it's too good to be true, it's going to go again.
Wait for the other shoe to drop. A lot of people do wait for the other shoe to drop because, you know, we have those beliefs like things don't last for me, or the shoe's going to drop, or things don't work out. But I think it's recognising when things come in, I deserve this. This is my new normal. It's those conversations you're having with yourself in that regard, isn't it?
The truth about manifestation, when you chuck the rule book out the way, is ultimately you get to decide and choose how you manifest. The core foundation of the principles of manifestation, that's true for myself and our clients and our community, is that you don't manifest necessarily what you want, you manifest what you are. I know you've probably heard us say that so many times. It comes down to how you are programmed, where your dominant state lies, and that branches off into so many different things: how you think, feel, act, perceptions. Ultimately, it comes down to your identity. And that's the most powerful thing. What your subconscious already believes is true and safe for you, your computer, what the program you're running on. So even if you are outward sourcing, trying to find the next tip, the next tool, the next nugget, and consciously digested all of these concepts through loads of information, and you're outwardly seeking the next thing that's going to shift it all for you, whether that's in love, money, relationships, health, appearance, whatever. All of that outward focus, outward searching, being outwardly sourced, from looking for validation, keeps your manifestation in the future. Keeps you resonating with the very version of yourself that doesn't have it.
Because I think it's just peeling back all of those layers. Because I found on my manifestation journey, the more I listened and looked outwardly, I was just putting more conditions and limitations on myself and taking what other people thought, and just really not hearing my own voice sometimes. Because we're so in that world, when we find manifestation, we're like, oh my god, I can manifest what it is I want consciously. It's like, wow, you start taking on different information, different opinions, and then you come back. It's like a full circle moment, like, wow, you come back to your power and you're like, I need to do all that, and then you find like a very simple way to do things. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, there was one part of my journey where I was doing a lot more tools and techniques and doing all the things and regulating my nervous system quite a lot, because that's where I was at the time. But as I've gone on my journey, it's a very more simplified approach now, and that's the way I like to come at it. I can listen to information and I take what resonates and I leave the rest. And I now, from a place of like, I like still listening to videos and education and stuff. I like learning, I like growing, but it's like, it's now about implementing what you know. And for a long time in my journey, I was very much in consumer mode. Like, I wasn't implementing anything, and nothing in my life was changing because there was no implementation. And I think that's another key thing when it comes to manifestation. Don't just consume the stuff. Go out there and prove it to yourself. Show yourself that you are different power. Show yourself that you're the one that's creating your reality, but not just listening to it, but actually implementing and integrating it into your life as well.
What actually creates change? Change doesn't happen just because you've said the right affirmation or done the technique. Yes, we see people get the results from that, but so often it's not sustained, and they're constantly searching for their power in the tool technique.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I've done and I scripted this into my reality, and then you feel like you're on that hamster wheel of yourself, like, I need to keep this up in order to manifest the things that I want. But it didn't come from the tool. It come because you embodied a new baseline.
Yeah, and you decided that this thing was the thing that was going to work.
Standard.
Yeah, because it's always your assumption.
Exactly.
Like, it's what you believe to be true is what's going to work. Whatever you believe in, like, oh, I need to do this, so that's what's going to get me my manifestation. Oftentimes, that can bring it in as well, because you believe that's what it's going to take for you to get it. And then where people go wrong is, like, they rely on that, and that's why they don't get the results that they want, because they're like, well, I've been doing this, 10K affirmations, but nothing seems to be changing, because you're not changing, you're still the same person. So what actually creates the change is you deciding that you're the person that has what you want, and daily being that version of self. And it's going to take really identifying who that version of you is, and then doing those daily things to be her.
Yeah.
Or him, or whatever.
You stopped checking for the change and started embodying it.
So I think when you're no longer checking outwardly, you're able to come back within and really, like, trust your own discernment, see what works, see what doesn't work, see repeatable process sometimes. When it clicks, it just clicks, and you're like, I've cracked the code.
That's why I feel like we have our Wealth Woman Blueprint.
Yes.
But for me, it's not the way of being. Like, I decide what I want and I can maneuver the steps so easily that sometimes I'm not even conscious that I'm doing it, because it's become a way of being. It links back to the points of, it's not a method, it's a way of being.
Yeah.
It's a mood, it's the way you carry yourself, how you move throughout your day, what you think, how you perceive things, where you're setting your focus, your intention, because ultimately that is the momentum that builds around who you are being.
But it's a lifestyle. Like, every single day is about just living your life and doing the best that you can and building a beautiful life for yourself, a more happy, fulfilling, abundant life, because why not? We're here to live a life of freedom, bliss, joy, peace, fulfillment. I think that comes from not needing to constantly have to do something in order to earn your way to have what you want, because you don't need to earn it. You are already inherently worthy and deserving to have what you want. But sometimes we think, because of our past conditioning, we have to go and having what we want, rather than making a decision, decide to be a new identity, a new I am, a new version of self. And that's what really starts to create the change. People do struggle with that in between, going from old self to new self, and really just like riding it out, because reality will reflect it at some point. It's just like we see old snippets of who we used to be, but it's deciding now I'm my new self, and that becomes the way of being.
If you could say one thing that would be the biggest rule break to unlearn.
I think the biggest thing for me to unlearn, putting my power outside of myself. I think for a long time I relied so much on other people's opinions and content, rather than trusting in what I was doing and integrating that in myself. The integration piece I was missing for a very long time. Like, I needed, it was like my dopamine hit. It was like, I need to go watch another video so I can feel okay.
In doing that?
Like, I felt like I was doing something, but I wasn't getting my manifestation, because I wasn't being the version of me that had it. I was being the version of me that needed to consume content outside of me in order to feel okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like consumption.
Yeah, what about for you? Like, what do you think is your
integration? Definitely. Yeah. Over information.
Yeah. Like implementation. Yeah.
Exactly. The integration into my life. So it's not, my life doesn't revolve around manifesting.
No.
Manifesting fits and integrates into my life. I'm busy. I don't have time to sit there for 2 hours. If I wake up at 4 a.m. maybe, and meditate and do like a 10-step. I need something that fits into my life that I can plug and play throughout different aspects of my day.
Yeah, and it fits around you.
And it feels easy as a way to sustain and like subconsciously, subtly choose to raise my baseline. You'll know if you're stuck in the information stage, because you'll be saying things to yourself like, I know this, but nothing's changed. You'll feel like you're doing more, or trying to effort your way to the thing that you want. Trying to find the next tip, tool, nugget, piece of information that's going to shift everything for you. Because I know we've been there.
I was like, there must be something else I'm missing, because it's not clicking. But what was missing was me. The actual integration of what I was learning, and not actually showing myself that I was the one that was calling all of the shots. I was the one that was creating my reality. Some people get stuck in that cycle for a very long time, watching other. Like, I felt like I was literally watching other people elevate and live their life while I was still like stuck where I am, and that's because I wasn't changing. Essentially, I was still just watching all the stuff and not actually going off and doing it. Yes, are you a hearer or a doer?
But what changes is how you're integrated in choosing to be her. You no longer just have the awareness, and this for a long time people become so aware of their patterns, their beliefs, the behaviours that don't support that next level, but they're not willing to do the integration, conscious decisions, intentions to move themselves into another state where they start anchoring, showing up and being this version. So it's like you're in constant observation mode. Like, people could tell me like their patterns, people could tell me where they get stuck, people could tell me where they think things need to shift, but can never move past that.
I came out of it and I was like, wow, that's why nothing's changing, because I'm not actually being a doer, I'm just a hearer. Because knowledge isn't power unless you're actually implementing it.
Yeah.
Everyone else's way is not always going to be my way. Sometimes it is also finding.
Yeah. And that's another rule there. That's the thing I'm a big advocate for. Like, stop fucking listening to everyone. I don't want to take advice from someone that's sitting in their room and telling me
you don't always know, do you? Yeah.
Like, I know that I just think everything is an accept and reject situation. And like, I know you pick people that you resonate with, and I'm a big believer of like, our community is, we're taking them on the journey with us. And we're not sitting from that pedestal being like, here's how you manifest £1 million. Because we haven't yet done it in the 3D, although it's done in the quantum.
I always say we've got £1 million business.
Period.
Because sometimes it's not
just
always
principles you're telling me. You're not showing me the real felt lived.
Because we go through the things as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's so real sometimes. Like, when you're going through it in your own life and you're like, everyone else just seems to be like, why is it clicking for everyone else? It's not clicking for me. Am I doing something wrong? Is there something wrong with me? I went through that for a long time as well. And it's like, I was right all along. I was doing the right stuff all along. It's just like, I was just in a state, in a version of me that thought it was in someone else's
power.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I think we have this community. It's all about elevating and making the life upgrade inevitable from who you're embodying, taking you guys on the journey as we do it too.
Yeah, so if you've really enjoyed this episode, we'd love to have you a part of the community. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And if you want to work with myself or Tia, the links are in the description box down below. And we will see you in the next episode.